Ellie. Oh my gosh, it's so good to see all of you. I'm Jane Gordon. I'm the Vice President for the university here in Oregon. Oh, and it's my pleasure to welcome you to celebrate an exciting and forward-looking partnership between NTX and the University of Oregon. I'm especially honored to welcome our representatives, our friends from NTX and Luenthai who have traveled across the globe to spend the day with us today, and it's been a very long and wonderful day. So as you know, we're part of the University of Oregon's whose main campus is in Eugene. We're a prestigious public research university, also the home of Hayward Field, and where Bill Bowerman trained runners and introduced jogging to the public, and the Oregon Ducks, who compete at the highest levels while wearing performance apparel and footwear. Do we get it? Go Ducks. Come on. Do you know how to do it? Okay, 1, 2, 3. Go Ducks. Design and innovation are part of the university's DNA, and we're the premier university for sports and materials research and education programs. And for nearly 150 years, the University of Oregon has also been at the forefront of incredible education here in Portland. It's here that we opened the first medical school, which is now OHSU. The law school started here in the 1880s. Urban architecture and the executive MBA started here in the 1970s. And just this past year, adding to more and more education, immersive media communication and children's behavioral health programs were launched. Our programs are here in Portland so that they can connect with industry and the talented professionals who live and work in this special city. And the university, both in Eugene and Portland, have for years been significantly connected to the sports and outdoor sector, a multi-billion-dollar industry with deep connections in the Pacific Northwest. Oregon is the state of sport. And it was just suggested to me that the university should be called Sport X, so all of you are the X's. Sport X, because we have sports business, design, materials, human performance, law, and other centers of excellence all connecting with the sports industry. Among the university's many connections to this industry is our contribution to its workforce. Companies need employees who truly understand the industry and who are highly trained in creating and developing products. There was a void that existed about a decade ago, and into that void, the University of Oregon created the Sports Product Management and Sports Product Design graduate programs that are offered here in Portland. In these programs, UO students work with industry leaders to explore the latest in materials and practices and develop their own innovative ideas. Students are given the space to research, explore, learn about materials and production, learn to work in teams, which is a challenge, and they learn it. Ellen's nodding because they do learn it, and learn the pace of work and learn to think ahead. And when they graduate, they have the skills and experience to successfully contribute to a wide variety of companies or even start their own. This is why our new partnership with NTX is so exciting. NTX is changing the textile world, and UO students and faculty members will have a seat at the table to test the limits of possibility when the NTX Bridges Innovation Center opens in Portland. The partnership also benefits the region. Earlier today, we met with regional economic development and chamber leaders who are thrilled that NTX and Luenthai selected Portland for its first US location. Having a facility like this in the region not only recognizes Portland as a hub of the sports and outdoor industry, but helps to strengthen that industry. So we're going to formalize this partnership in a bit with an actual special signing ceremony, so thank you for joining us. But first I want to introduce Dr. Ellen Schmidt-Devlin. Dr. Ellen Schmidt-Devlin, there aren't enough words. She's a creative, an entrepreneur, a partner, and the co-founder with Roger Best. Is he here? There, Dr. Roger Best, in developing the Sports Product Management Program. And she's been key in developing this partnership with NTX. From her own impressive career in the sports apparel industry, Ellen knew that NTX and the University of Oregon could create something magical together. And we can't wait, and now we'll hear from Ellen.
From now on, I only want Jane introducing me. So it's really nice to see everybody. I'd like to thank everybody from the media, from the industry that has come to join us for this signing ceremony. I think there's very few times in your career that you're able to find partners that align with the direction that you're trying to take the industry. When we created the sports product management program, the sports product design program, we had 3 pillars that we created it upon: global, sustainability, and innovation. And Luenthai, who is one of the premier manufacturers in the world that manufactures products for Adidas, for Polo, for Levi's, they're somebody that understands those 3 pillars, and they stand upon them. NTX, you stand upon those 3 pillars as well. Our relationship started, in May, right? It's like we speed dated to where we are today. But it really started way before that. And so I'm going to introduce 2 of our speakers, 2 of our next speakers. And the first will be Jeffrey Su. And Jeffrey, like 3 years ago, before we even had a chance to get to know each other, Jeffrey kept on telling Calvin and Raymond, you need to see Portland, Oregon. You need to see the Silicon Valley of the sports and outdoor industry. And then something happened. It starts with a C. COVID, yeah, that happened. And it really got in the way of what they wanted to do. And what they wanted to do is they wanted to come to the United States and build an innovation center for the industry. But they were missing one piece. And that one piece was a partner, and that partner was the University of Oregon. So Raymond came in May with his team, and Jeffrey came then in August, and we've been back and forth about 6 times now as we've put together this concept and the MOU that we're going to sign today. So we've put together this NTX Bridge Innovation Center that you're going to hear about today. So Jeffrey is a Chief Innovation and Marketing Officer, and he's worked in well-known textile enterprises across Europe and the United States and Asia. He's responsible for the development, marketing, and sales of the group's innovative material applications with global apparel brands. And so, Jeffrey, I want to invite you up here, and then I'll introduce Raymond next. Thank you.
Good afternoon. It's very good to be back in Portland, and I'm super, super excited to engage in this next chapter of our expansion and our growth as a startup company. So I want to go a little bit into what NTX is and what we're about. NTX might joke sometimes with our founder that it started as a love story. It's true. Don't deny it. It was between him and the missus, where they had shared this passion, not just for each other, obviously, but also in terms of doing innovation. Going back all the way to 90s, early mid-90s, they ventured into China at that time, very different than what it is today, because they wanted to look at how to bring systems together. And then from that, they expanded and wanted to do laboratory research to bring solutions into textiles for different types of companies. When they were venturing down that pathway, however, they realized, hey, with all this technology, with all these solutions, with all this thought process that we were having, why not start the whole system altogether? What's missing from it? So from sublimation, they wanted to change sublimation, make it better, and then they realized that bringing in the chemistry, bringing in the engineering, it may be better not just to evolutionize sublimation, but just to revolutionize the entirety of how color is put into textiles altogether. And that came about of the foundation of the company way back in the early 2000s. And then from that, the research laboratory became a solutions provider. And then at the end of 2008, 2009-ish range, that was where the first generation of the Cooltrans technology came to be. So at that time, specifically, it was looking at natural cellulosic materials, cotton-based materials. And then natural evolution was, can I do this type of solution on anything? And then by 2013, the answer was yes. But like all startup companies, first is you have to have the technological solution. But then it is about the implication of it, how to take it from that initial technological level and then bring it into the commercial realm. that was the difficult, the very painful, and the ups and downs. Fortunately, the technology itself sold itself, and we had very good innovators and also revolutionaries that saw the potential of this technology and joined forces and invested into us to grow the company. And then, through a few other iterations, after realizing how to, could have just sold the technology, but just selling the technology is not enough in terms of the adaptation, because what do you go on from experience? You have the hardware, you have the software. It's useless unless you have the user. There doesn't exist any user in the world to do this system. There doesn't exist the experience or the knowledge base of how to troubleshoot, which is 90% of the time of what we do in textiles. So instead of just selling the technology and have somebody figure it out, the most difficult pathway was chosen, which is to partner. So from almost the very beginning, the method or the outreach to find the right partners has been a bedrock of the NTX ethos. And then in early 2020s, that's when we went on to our third evolution to say, all right, now partnering with the right types of people, we bring the sustainability into the mass. And we were very fortunate also to have the right types of partners to take it, be the lab rats, to experiment with us, but also bring it to a global level in terms of the expectations of where the technology needed to be. But now that opens up a next chapter. We're finished with proof of the technology. We're finished with the development of the technology. But now it's also about the growth of the technology. And that requires a unique set of insight that in Asia and as a manufacturing base, we know we could not have. And that is where this, I believe, would be our fourth chapter. It's to tackle not just the sustainability aspect in terms of what we understand of in ESG, but the sustainability aspect of inventory as a whole. That waste that is often not talked about, that is what this center and also bringing that innovation from the new blood of students comes into play. And it's what we hope will expand on the new next 5 years to 10 years timeline. So, thank you very much.
My next introduction, it's really a privilege and an honor to be able to introduce Raymond Tan. Raymond is really the brainchild of what we're doing here today. He is the president of Luenthai International Group. He's a chief executive officer of Luenthai Holdings Limited. Luenthai Holdings is a Hong Kong-based investment company involved in the design, manufacturing, production, and distribution of apparel and accessories. And I think that, you know, spending time with Raymond here in Portland, and then I had an opportunity to go to Asia and spend a couple weeks with Raymond. And Raymond really has a belief that if we're going to partner, we really need to understand each other. You know, so for 10 days, Raymond spent time with me, really educating me about the entire NTX processes. You know, all the colorations, everything they do with dyeing, you know, what makes them special. And we talked a lot about, you know, the last 30 years, and I spent 30 years in this industry, the last 30 years, we went to Asia. We took our creation teams to Asia, and then we worked with the teams there. That's not gonna happen. You know, for our students for the next 30 years, those companies have to come here to work with the industry and with our students. And I really think that's the vision, Raymond, that you had, and we appreciate you being here today. And please come up to the podium and say a few words for us.
Thank you, Ellen. I can't stand here. Look, my father and 3 of my brothers, we co-founded Luenthai 40 years ago. I still remember I just finished college. I was 22, so I'm 62 standing here today. Back in the old day, if you remember, there was quota 40 years ago. Some of you probably remember, some of you maybe not born yet. But then the competitive edge of that time was, how much quota do you have? Customer go to you because you own quota. So our family started our manufacturing business in Saipan, quota-free, duty-free. So we had a good run, okay? And after that, WTO came into place, the world become wide open, and China started to grow, and everywhere else was quota free, right? So the next wave is customer relationship, right? You just have to know how to play golf, just go out and, have a good time with a customer and produce good product, right? That was our business driver at that time. And after that, and of course, compliance come into place, and, human rights, and then, of course, you got to, like, upgrade your facility, do everything that is right. Then you probably have that. And then customers start to say, I want multiple manufacturing facility. Then you have to build another competitive edge. China +1, China +2, right? Okay. And then after that, right? So every time there's a wave, then people start to talk about, sustainability. People start to talk about, a combination of, how you work with a customer, transparent costing, investing into ERP, material planning, all kinds of stuff, right? What was the next step? The question is, what is next? And how do you deal with what is next? That was my question, being the CEO of this organization. Where do I see the industry go, and how do I prepare my company for the next? Okay. I'm very, very fortunate to have met, my lovely partner, my friend, my brother, Kelvin, who Jeff introduced earlier. He's the founder, CEO of NTX. And we had a lot of things in common. And I'm sure that, for those of you, and most of you are in the industry, that, we have a few very, very painful pain points. Number one, inventory. No one wants our inventory, right? We are one of the industry that, create the most pollution, creating while we produce the product, right? Whether it's from the fabric point of view or from the garment point of view. But to make it worse, after we produce it, we don't sell like 30, 40, 50% of them, right? Because we over-purchase, right? So we double the pollution. Very bad. Okay, so it's a pain point. And the reason why we don't sell as much as we produce is because we don't design to the market. We design something that the market might not want. We just imagine this is what people want. After we design, it looks good. The merchandiser say that, let me place the order. Okay. We couldn't sell them. Then you start to do markdown, you damage the brand. So that's another pain point. So what Kelvin had been doing, that I have been talking to Kelvin for the last 7 years, is how do we really address the two pain points together? You can't really address them separately. You need to address them together. Then, of course, sustainability is a trend. It's very, very important to the world, right? People care about the planet nowadays. And when Kelvin started to go into this technology, okay, I still remember the first time I met him. He said, oh, Raymond, if you look at the press industry, you look at the magazine, they can print very, very fast, okay? So he's got this crazy idea when he was younger, why can't I print fabric like paper? Okay, I can do it much faster, quicker, the quality of the color is better. I look at this guy and say, you're crazy, okay? Of course, he's not crazy. And then when I start to look at, his technology, I really believe in what he did. So we became partner. I became like his commercialization partner, right? Because when you have a technology, although it was commercialized in a way that is already scalable, but you really need to bring the product, bring the technology to major brands to really build it up and see, can you really produce millions of yards? Can you really do it for different product? Can you do it for solid color, print, whatever that he promised? So we did it, okay? So, but then I think most people misunderstood NTX technology is for sustainability only. So whenever you talk about NTX, people always say, oh, this is a waterless dyeing technology, right? Wow, this is so good. But you have to look beyond the technology. And what do I mean by that? Okay. So, yeah, we want to make sure that anything that we do meet up the expectation of the brands at a price that is cost neutral to whatever the brands are paying now. Very important. Consumer not going to pay more. Consumer want your product which is sustainable, but they don't want to pay more. So number one, we achieved that already. Okay. However, having said that, so I'm wearing a pair of pants. Okay. This is actually a product that we design, produce for Skechers in China. And I'll talk about, a little bit about China's supply chain, which is very, very unique. Okay, so this is printed. Okay, and I'll show you this. So this is a double-sided printed. and it's not, people can do it, but people cannot do it that fast. And this is a 423 product. We only came up with the design concept, not the design. We only came up with the design concept mid-June. We are still working on design for November launch. The first time we came up with this concept, our aim was to sell September the 9th. It was mid-June for the first time. So we came up with a range. I remember it was like 12 SPU and something like 20-some SKU. And by the time that we launched, it became 6 SPU and 24 SKU. So we dropped some style and we add color. We still launch and sold on September 9. That means we have to get the product into the warehouse a week before September 9, right? And we produce 100 pieces per SKU to test the market. And based on the market feedback, we produce more. And we're going to work on a 26 window a year. Every 2 weeks, we're going to have something new. Test, not chase. We don't chase. When we test, we now start to design and produce the product much, much closer to the market, right? So now, from this example, I'm talking about we're solving 2 pain points. Design for the market. And I don't have that much inventory. We only produce 100 pieces. And we let the market decide which one is better. Then you produce more. In 2 weeks, you have the product into the store, you can start to sell. Now, that is what I call that's next. That's the future, right? Now, but the ability to do that, okay, then, of course, we all know AI is going to be part of our life. We can't avoid that. It's going to change the industry. It's going to change everything, right? Okay. So we have a pair of jeans over here. If you look at it, this design was created by AI. It wasn't designed by a human. Just hit the button and say, I want a print design. And we print this by Cooltrans, okay? But then what happened is, if you look at this, it looks like a pair of jeans, right? Okay. And what we did is that And we print the back, like, and then we print the front. It is so fast. So just imagine your designer designed this, print this, cut it, stitch it, go regular wash. You have that pair of jeans. Simple is very difficult. You have to make it very simple. Your process has to be very, very simple. And the future, okay, what we believe in is we're going to have AI to enable and support designer to be even more creative. The designers, capacity is going to grow tremendously. We're not trying to replace them, by the way. Okay, but then you can also have original design and crossover, collaborate with AI. Let's say, so for example, you have a designer who designed an apple. Oh, let's say pumpkin, okay, not apple, yeah, pumpkin, okay. So you go to AI and say that, okay, I want this pumpkin to be collaborated with the 12 Chinese animal. So every single animal will have a pumpkin head, right? Something like that, okay? So the AI will give you maybe, 60 different pumpkin heads. And you just choose one for each animal. I mean, you can imagine that. But that could happen in 30 seconds. Right? That's the future. So how do you design your product quickly? But designing the product, yeah, then of course you can use AI to put onto a model to have, go to, Tahiti or go to, New York, just a background, walk around, all those could be done. But you need the product. There's so much you could do virtually. At the end of the day, you need this. And this is where the integration of the AI and cool trends. So now, AI will play a very, very important role. Then you transfer that design concept into actual product through having range and print without any limitation of your creativity. Then you stitch the product together. And you get your product, and you can stitch very, very few of them, you test the market. And we can go factory to consumer. So why are we here? So we have all this figured out, of course, he got stuck in China, I got stuck in Hong Kong. So they were, like 2 years, we did not see each other. Of course, we talked to each other. And as soon as the border opens up, I went to see Kelvin, then we start to talk. And then I came to US a couple months ago. But what we really wanted to do, okay, what I believe in is that I remember I used to deal with customer brands, would send loads of people from, America, Europe to Asia, visit us. Then brands would open up, like Nike, Adidas, LO, right? All over Asia. Then we deal with the LO team, but the senior executives still go over there. But each brand has so many department level, right? You have the CEO, a brand head, then you have the design, you have the merchandiser, you have the material, then you have the innovation team. Okay, you have all these people. And there's no way that you can get all these people to see the technology and then try to, make sure that they all understand and agree and buy into the idea. It's almost impossible to get all of them together, because if you don't get all of them together, they are not going to change the way how they work with their supplier. So we figure out that, okay, it's difficult to get all of you together to Asia. We're going to come here to America. We come to US. We chose Portland, the home of many wonderful, sports brands, very, very close to the West Coast. There are actually quite a few good brands, and we also have our office in New York, in the East Coast. And we have decided to come here. But when I first came here about 3 months ago, I was very, very fortunate, kind of like by accident, right? Because I didn't even have an appointment with Alan over here and Jane, right? I just saw a video 6 in the morning, and then I talked to my executive. I said that I really want to meet this lady. And she was very, very nice. You know, she met me at 3 p.m. on a Friday afternoon, okay? And then they invited me for lunch, Saturday brunch, okay? And I got the chance to go to Eugene, actually, that day. I really get to know this organization through these beautiful ladies. And that's very, very, very important because it shows their passion. For the first time that they met me, they spent Friday afternoon and Saturday morning with me. I've never met them. I didn't even have an appointment, right? So that is important for me. So we start to feel that chemistry, the understanding of each other's, culture, value, our needs. So invited this lady to Asia. I didn't know that she's crazy enough to pack a bag and go to Asia and spend 10 days with me. She went to Hong Kong, Cambodia, Dongguan, and Shanghai, where we met, Kelvin, and then we decided to set up what we call NTX Bridges Innovation Center. Okay. Well, I have to declare that I came up with the name Bridges, right? After I learned there are 9 bridges over here. And I think it's such a cool name, right? It represents Portland. It connects, it connects, even what I'm wearing today. I mean, my factory make this, for Ralph Lauren Polo, in the Philippines. This is a Chinese style, East again, East West. We connect the brands, we connect the consumer, we connect with the university, the professor, the faculty, the student. Bridges is very, very important. We try to connect the supply chain, right? Okay, it's a cool name. But what we are committed to do over here, so this is only the beginning. Yeah, we can have, news release and sign MOU and nothing happened. No, we actually went to 5 locations yesterday. We picked one already. Hopefully we'll be able to get it. It's about 40,000 square feet. It is located 10 minutes from here. Yeah, so we're serious. We're looking at property, and NTX will be, bringing the development machine here. Whatever we do in Asia, we want to do it here. And so we're partnering with University of Oregon, whereas I think we have 2 master program and 1 undergraduate program, whereas we can tap into their resources, and hopefully we'll be able to share our technology with the university, with the community, and at the same time, we don't pretend we understand the market. We're from Asia. So we need local talent to come back and educate us what the market requires. So hopefully together we're able to build new supply chain model here. So our deliverable is going to be a innovation/development center, if needed, small bulk production, okay? And we're going to have fabric, and we're going to have garment. So that is our first step, right? And so we'll be partnering with both graduate programs from this university. In fact, I think the design team is going to help us to design the center, right? Okay, I'm very, very happy about that. So hopefully we'll have a lab over there that the student over here can go there and virtually, physically being there, touching, using our technology, learning how to operate the machine, touching the product, creating the product. It's very, very exciting. And the end of the day, we believe that is the next that I was talking about. And this next has to start somewhere, especially for our major market, America. That's why we're here. Thank you.
Now you can see why I'm so excited, right? So Raymond did a great job explaining what the NTX Bridge Innovation Center is going to be. The only thing I wanted to add is that this is going to be a resource for the University of Oregon. It's also going to be a resource for the industry. So the industry can bring over creation teams and work on products in the same space that we're working on. So I know we have industry people here. I want to make sure that you guys know it's open for you as well. Our next step is that we have the signing of our MOU, and we're going to invite Chairman Calvin Chung, the chairman and managing partner of NTX, to come up here, and then Vice President Rasden from the University of Oregon. They'll be representing both sides here as they sign the MOU. So Vice President Rasden is our Vice President of Research and Innovation at the University of Oregon. He joined the university in July 2022 after serving as Associate President for Research and Development at the University of Delaware. Prior to that, he was a professor and center director in the computer science program at Arizona State University. He holds a PhD in computer science and an MS in mechanical engineering from Arizona State University, and a BS in mechanical engineering as well. So welcome, AR. Yes, so Calvin Chung they have a kindred spirit because they both have engineering backgrounds. Earlier today, I described Calvin as a very nice Stephen Jobs. He is our innovator. He is the one that looked at the way that we do color and dyeing, how we manufacture apparel today, and he said we can do better. And he innovated in that space. And those innovations, earlier today, somebody raised their hand and asked, how many of the machines are you going to move here? You know, meaning, are they going to keep the good stuff in Asia and then just give us a few things? And I think Jeffrey said, we're going to send you everything. You know, so the capability here will be the same capability that they have in Asia. So I'd invite you both to sit down, and I know that you both would like to say a little bit. Okay, so they're signing the MOU between NTX and the University of Oregon.
We'll also do this at the ribbon cutting, right? The actual thing. It'll be more exciting.
Do you want to? I think you
Jeff,
want to.
I don't know. Or you just wanted to say?
Why don't you say a few words?
Well, please sit down. So I really want to thank Calvin Chung and Raymond Tan for their leadership and their vision on embarking in this journey in Portland and Oregon. And I have to say that all the industries that adopted the just-in-time manufacturing formula have not only, survived but done well. So I'm really delighted to see that NTX is bringing this just-in-time technology to Portland, and not only will be the first one in the United States in this industry, and it'll revolutionize your industry. So just-in-time is extremely important. So thank you very much in bringing your team. I do want to acknowledge the University of Oregon team that has worked tirelessly. Ellen, Jane Gordon, Matt Roberts, and Tina Goldberg. So they've been working tirelessly for the past few months. And this is just, as they say, tip of the iceberg, and if I probably will offend some Casablanca fans there, but this is start of a long and fruitful partnership and friendship between NTX and University of Oregon. So thank you.
There we go.
大家，我想这个合作会非常顺利，这是一个改变世界的技术。
Thank you to everybody. We firmly believe that this is going to be a industry and globally changing first step. Thank you.
So does everyone have something in their hand? If we don't have it, we're going to wait just a minute more.
Yep. We'll wait.
We're handing them out right now.
I know, we hear the popping. Wait just a minute more. So our guests, I think I mentioned earlier, traveled, I think just yesterday, yeah? It's been a long day. They met with students at lunch, did an incredible talk for the students, packed room, and visited our maker spaces here and across the street, and met with economic and industry leaders earlier. So it's been a very long day, and we really appreciate it so much. I feel. I know. You want to chat? Okay.
I was just going to say that I love the name Bridges. So Raymond, that's fantastic. But also it's very important because here, University of Oregon is itself being a bridge between this industry and our local partners, local industry, government, and other parts of Portland and Oregon. So this is a great opportunity for us to facilitate this partnership as well with other members of the society and industry. All right, so I think we are almost ready.
And the bridge between here and Eugene, our campus, another bridge.
Absolutely.
Yeah. All right, more bridges. We need to get closer. All right, does everyone, okay, so very simply, thank you, congratulations, and welcome. Thank you. Cheers.
Thank you.
Cheers. Yeah.
Thank you.
Raymond didn't tell the story that when he visited with us that Saturday, the next day they were going to Boston to look at Boston. And we said, don't go to Boston. We said, go to Eugene instead. And they did, but they fit it all in one day, and they went to Eugene, and our colleague Matt showed them Eugene. And Raymond was on Hayward Field and toured our incredible science night campus and some other places in Eugene. And then they did go to Boston the next day, and then they chose Portland. So here we go. Oh, and so there's food. Please come and eat and enjoy each other, mingle with the NTX and Luenthai teams, and welcome. Thanks for coming.